Good news or bad news? It's good news because we are going to go out there to create the awareness and give the solution. We are going to go out there to create the awareness and give the solution. Tell your partner, we have the solution. Okay? So, she's probably going to be one of the best people to talk about it. She has written her book called Stop Cooking Your Kid's Brain. And I was also told there will be a few copies in the lucky draw as well. Can we give her a round of applause? Alright? Alright, so without further ado, let's give a warm, high energy. Welcome to Dr. Pinky, all the way from the Philippines! Let's give her a round of applause, everybody!
Gadgets all the time. How many of you here, you have kids using gadgets all the time too? Yes. Thank you. Thank you for participating because they say participation equals? Okay, so I really would love you to participate with me. Alright? Is that okay? But before anything else, I'd like to thank each one of you for being here. It's the second day and you're still here. You could be doing something else. You could be shopping or exploring this beautiful Malaysia. But you're here with us right now. And that's really great. Can you tell you're the person beside you? That's really good. You're here. Alright, so before anything else, can I tell you a little bit more about myself first? Can I? Oh, it's not loud enough. They don't like to know my story. Alright, okay, so I'm Dr. Pinky De Leon and Tal, and as you can see, I'm into preventive, lifestyle, and culinary specialist. I'm the founder of Preventive Medicine Philippines, and I'm a professor teaching young doctors to also think about prevention. But before that happened, I'm just also a regular doctor, as most of the doctors that you know. Who are the doctors that you know? Those doctors that give you, like me, before, when you have headaches, we give you analgesic. When you have a hypertension, we give you medicine. That's who I am before. But right now, I go to the root cause and treat diseases because of how they should be treated. Going to the root cause of disease. Alright? So, but before that, this is what happened. I also have my share of diseases. Okay? Just like your ordinary doctors, or some has cancer, some has hypertension, right? Correct? Okay. For me, I have hyperacidity. How many of you have hyperacidity? Before. Kangan. Do you know that my hyperacidity before attacks once a week? So that's how much a year. That's 50 times a year. I also have allergic rhinitis. I also have mouth sores. You know, how many of you have mouth sores? Once, twice a year. Do you know that my mouth sores before are 365 days in a year? If there's a time that I don't have mouth sores, I'm so happy about it. That's my problems before. And then, I met this water. You know this water? A friend of mine introduced to me this water, and being a doctor, I'm very skeptical. Right? Most of the doctors that you know would be very skeptical, right? But I'm also the type of doctor who listens. And I know that medicine is ever-changing. It can change, right? So I listened, but still skeptical, but we tried the water. On the first week of trying the water, my husband actually peed her kidney stones. And that made me rethink, oh, there's something about this water. Fast forward, we installed the machine, okay? And lo and behold, the symptoms I had before was gone. My hyperacidity, I still have, but not 50 times a year, about 1 to twice a year. Or then the mouth sores, from 365 days in a year, maybe I still have, but 1 to 3 times a year. Is it really good? Does that deserve a clap? Yes. So, I feel really good. I feel liberated, and that started me in my journey. And I enrolled in lifestyle medicine. It's a specialization in medicine that actually goes to the root cause of disease through your lifestyle, because we believe that you can heal yourself given the right condition. So this is what I do now. I help Filipinos treat chronic lifestyle diseases without surgery or medication. And that's why I founded preventive medicine. But of all the things that happened to us, we felt really the best of health. Do you know there's one symptom that doesn't go away with our family? That one symptom, it happens with my husband. My husband, you know, is a graphic designer. So he actually spends 10, 12 hours a day in a computer, in a laptop, right? So the symptoms that doesn't go away are this: headache, eye pain, fatigue, tiredness. He can't sleep, but only when using the gadget, okay? So when emGuarde came, when emGuarde was launched here in Malaysia last year, we actually grabbed the opportunity to buy our own emGuarde as a family. And do you know what happened? Can you ask me what happened? Okay. What happened is, me, personally, I don't have problem sleeping. But on the first night of using the gadget, the emGuarde, my sleep was so good. I get so many dreams. Without telling anybody, my daughter actually woke up and said, "Mommy, I got so many dreams." That made me think that this gadget, I'm not just thinking about that, and not just the only one. And lo and behold, after a few days, the headache, the pain, the difficulty of sleeping of my husband was gone. And do you know what? There was a time when after a few weeks of using it, my husband said, "My headache is back. My head isn't back. Why is it?" "But maybe the emGuarde is not working anymore," he said. I said, "Oh, are you sure?" He said, "Did you actually turn it on?" I said, "Yes, of course, I turned it on. Can you check?" When we checked it, oh, it's turned off. I'm so sorry. My fault. And I said, "Oh, you're my human detector." So that's what happened. That actually happened not just once, but twice. Okay, so that's my story about the emGuarde. So when I found out about this technology, I immersed myself with research. I did all the research that I reached from the moment I saw it, because I think there's something, because we think we're in the best of health, and that actually solved our problem. I realized that it's the missing piece of the puzzle, of our health puzzle, right? Finally, I can say we are the best health. in our family. And with that, with searching everything, with doing all the study, I realized that those things that I did my research on should not be wasted. Do you agree with me? That's the reason why I wrote this book. I wrote this book initially for my team, but I realized it's a crime not to share. Can you say it with me? It's a crime not to share. That's why I made it available for every one of you to use. Alright, so this book and some of the things that I learned, you will learn in this talk. So, the title of my talk is Stop Cooking Your Kids' Brain. Okay, and how to protect your family with the harmful effects of radiation. Okay, so do you know that, according to my research, that our Earth, the cosmos, and the environment, we actually have an EMF radiation. It's natural. But because of technology, of everything that's happening, in 2007, according to European research, the EMF levels soared astonishing 3,000%. How many? 3,000. And that was a 2007 study. You want a more recent one? This is from Professor Johansson in 2012. He actually discovered or get on the research that the background levels of electromagnetic radiation has actually increased to 1 quadrillion times. How many? 1 quadrillion times. When I was writing it, I'm checking how many zeros do I need to put. And what year is it? 2014. What year is now? Again, what year is now? That's 10 years. Imagine how much is it right now. I can't even imagine. Okay? Because of this, according to statistics, we have more than 8 billion mobile phones right now. How many are the population? 8 billion. 8 billion mobile phones, and we have more than 20 billion wireless transmitting devices. Okay? Imagine we are in this electromagnetic jungle. Where actually the ratio is 1:3.5. One person for every 3.5 device. And it is expected to rise up to 1:10:8 and to 8 in the next 10 years. Are you getting scared now? There's more to come, don't worry. It's everywhere. As you have listened, electromagnetic radiation is not just in your phones. Okay? It's in everywhere. Right? And from here, do you know that David already discussed it? There are two types of radiation. It's the ionizing and the non-ionizing radiation. You understand this, right? Good? Are you good with this? Can I tell you a little bit more about this? Let's start with the ionizing radiation. Okay. The ionizing radiation, one of the examples is that is X-ray, right? Have you ever went to an X-ray with yourself, right? Have you ever done this when you go to the X-ray room and then you go to this thing and the technician will put you there, pull up your hair, and then if it is time, what will the technician do? He will go and hide. Why? Because she's scared, right? He can't be exposed every day. And you don't do your X-ray every day, right? once, maximum of twice a year. Okay? Not more than that. If you have more than that, if the technician actually said, oh, we have a mistake, oh, that's too much exposure already. But do you know that there was a time that X-rays or ionizing radiation before was thought to be harmless? Do you know this person? Not my grandmother. What do you think is this? This is Marie Curie. You know Marie Curie? The one who discovered radium, so you can use the X-ray, right? Marie Curie, when she discovered radium, do you know that she handles radium in her pocket? Put it in the table. Until she actually died of radiation, due to radiation, in 1934. Not only that, around 1920s, these girls, we call them the radium girls. In 2020, the radium girls. The radium girls are like factory workers, wherein they paint the hands of the clock with radium to make it glow. Can you say glow? Glow. Do you want that in your watch right now? No, you don't like. But during that time, it's thought to be harmless. It's harmless. And these girls actually suffered. They developed so many diseases. They developed so many, they actually died, some of them. Okay, and developed so many abnormalities. These are the radium birds. Okay, how many of you knows this? Anyone? No one. No. These are actually, we called it in 1940, 1950s, an X-ray, wherein they fit the children's feet are put there to do an X-ray so they can fit the shoe. It actually says here, this is actually a marketing material. It says, there's no guesswork. When fitting shoes at Sears, use X-ray for shoe fitting. It's dangerous to have your child's shoes fitted in any other way. Are you scared for those kids? Yeah, but they didn't know that. But remember, 1930s, Marie Curie died. 1920s, radium girls were there. But why is it that they're still fitting the shoes of these kids in 1950s? Right? Why am I telling you this? Can you ask me why? Why? Because we have to learn from history. Tell your neighbor, learn from history. The history tells us that the ionizing radiation before was thought to be harmless. And what about non-ionizing radiation right now? They think it's still harmless, right? Right? So with that, let's go to the non-ionizing radiation. This is what we know right now with the EMF, the one in there which is everywhere. Okay? But I want you to meet someone. You want to meet that guy? Yes? Okay. I want you to meet Mr. Sam. Not our Sam here or Amos. Not our Mr. Amos here, but Mr. Sam stands for Standard Anthropomorphic Man. Mr. Sam is actually the mannequin or the model they used in 1993 to actually create the standard of measure in actually knowing if that radiation or non-ionizing radiation is harmless or harmful to you. It's good, but the problem with Mr. Sam is a large man. He's 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighs 100 kilos, and his head is 100 pounds. What do you think? Is there any problem with that? they're using a standard that's very big. What do you think compared to that guy to me? Right? 1/3. To compare that guy to a little child. Yes? They're using a standard of measure that's too big for the regular population, right? So that standard is still being used until today with just minor adjustment. You know that? No. Alright. That's why I'm telling you. So, I would like you to watch a video, just a few seconds video, about the difference of the absorption of radiation for an adult compared to a child for a 6-minute call. How many minutes? 6-minute call. Can you please?
Goes into creating this, and here's what it looks like after a period of 6 minutes. And that's really not as bad as it might look, because you see the red area only gets partway through the eye of the adult, right? The one that we're really concerned about is this one with the young child. And this is a 3-year-old brain that we modeled. And you see that by the end of that 6-minute call, the peak radiation, yellow and red, is getting all the way into almost both eyes.
How many of you here knows someone who is a 3-year-old or has a 3-year-old kid? Did you see? How many minutes is this? In a 6-minute call. As you can see, the red is the one the radiation is reaching far into the brain. Right? Are you scared for your kids right now? Yes? The question is, how many minutes are they actually spending right now? Is it still 6 minutes? How many? 6 hours? So, what do you think is happening to their brains? It's being cooked, right? It's being cooked. So, according to this same study, the radiation of the brain of the little child is 5 to 10 times the absorption to an adult compared to an adult. So, for my parents, dear parents like me, I would like you to note this. Please don't forget this, okay? And even American Academy of Pediatrics actually said, they wrote to Congressman Dennis Kunich in 2012. They said, they're actually appealing, please, the children are disproportionately affected because their bone density, the amount of liquid in the child's brain, and the absorption is too high. They are appealing to please make new standards. But they did actually make that? Did they adjust? No. That's 2012. So how does exactly EMF affect us? Do you want to know? Yes. Can you tell how? How? Alright. So, EMF, as we have heard earlier on by Dr. Magda Habas, one of the mechanisms is actually, it causes new formation of the red blood cell, and through that, it undergoes circulation that is poor. Okay? So you already know that. But according to a study, but by another doctor, Dr. Oleg Johansson, EMS has other mechanism. First, it can cause DNA damage. DNA damage can actually lead to mutation and cancer. Another one, it can cause inflammatory response. Another one, it disrupts cellular signaling. What does it mean? It actually decreases your immune system. Okay? Oxidative stress. Who's familiar with oxidative stress? Yes. EMF can actually cause oxidation, more free radicals. And another thing, it also decreases melatonin. That's the reason why so many people right now cannot sleep. Do you know that few days ago, I was looking to the different supplements in one of the online store that I go to, and I was shocked that there is a medicine they call melatonin for kids.
Huh?
I stop and think, oh, melatonin for kids? It only means they already have a market for that. The kids are not sleeping anymore, right? Because of UNF. Okay? So there goes the acute effects. You know the acute effects, right? The not sleeping, the eye pain, the headaches. But what do we want to know? Are there acute effects and are there long-term effects? Okay? Can you ask me, are there long-term effects? Okay, let's visit the long-term effects. Okay, let's check the brain, thinking, and memory. This is a study. In one of the study wherein the subject are rats. Okay, these rats are exposed to a 900 megahertz EMF exposure, the same wave from the cell phone radiation, and they actually check the brain, the thinking and memory. What they did is they exposed the pregnant rats, and the babies. When the babies come out, they check the thinking and memory. How do they check it? By using a maze, right? And do you know the result? Can you ask me? What? The result is the prenatal exposed newborns, rats, actually took 3 times longer to find their way out of the maze and made twice as many errors. It affected their brains and thinking and memory. And then even further, they cut open the brain of these rats and they saw that in the areas of memory and thinking, there are fewer cells. These are rats, again, guys. We may or may not have those with our kids. But do you still want to protect your kids from that? Right? It is also implicated in Alzheimer's, neurologic diseases, and autism. Okay, I cannot give you a lot of details about this, but I want to focus on autism. Do you know that in autism, in year 2000, there is one autistic child in every 150 normal child? Do you know what's the ratio last year? What do you think? 1 is to what? 100? 1 is to 50? What else? 1 is to 500? Do you know that last year, the ratio is actually 1 is to 36? No wonder there's a lot of teleseries, movies, that has autistic story around it, right? Do you watch Netflix? Do you see that there's a lot of movies and teledramas, right? Because it actually reflects what is it right now, what is happening. 1 is to 36. And the autism actually rose from year 2000 to now by 317%. How much? 317%. That's how much. Okay? And EMF has been implicated in that. Of course, there are other factors why autism is happening. But EMF is also one of those factors, right? So, what about fertility? How many of you here wants to have children? How many of you are planning to have a kids? Oh, there's a lot too. Okay. This one is already proven. It's already in the medical books. Okay? Do you know, they did an experiment. They get sperms in a test tube. They expose it to radiation. One is not exposed. Do you know what happened? Those exposed has less vitality, less mobility, and more abnormality. What else? They also found out that heavier cell phone users have reduced sperm count. The more you use the phone, the more you use gadget, the lesser the sperm count. How many of you would love to have a lesser for our guys here? No, you don't want, right? And how many of you guys here actually put your phone in your pocket? Raise your hand. Okay. Do you know in some fertility clinics in the US and Europe, they are not allowed, if they have patients who want to have babies, they are not allowed to put their phones in their pockets because it has been already implicated in infertility. Okay? How about tumor and cancer? Okay. Are you still learning so far? Yes. Can you tell the person beside you, I'm learning? Okay. So tumor and cancer. This has already been shown to you, but again, I would like to repeat. The WHO actually categorized gadgets of EMF radiation as group 2B, carcinogenic. So it causes cancer, but it's in the same category as your engine exhaust. Okay? Same category as your lead. Okay? And also vinyl chloride, which is used in plastics. Okay? So let's look at cancer. It has been implicated not just in glioma, in meningioma, and acoustic neuroma. Okay, these are type of cancers in the brain, but the one thing that they actually saw is something very shocking. Do you know what? Can you ask me what? They actually found out that those tumor grows on the side where they put their phone. If the person is right-handed, the tumor is on the right. If the person is left-handed, the tumor is on the left. Okay? I just would like to tell a little bit story on the glioma. One of the things that I do you know that before I went to Enagic, I'm part of the insurance industry. How many of you are in the insurance industry before and right now? I'm actually a lifetime emGuarde, and of my 15 years in that industry, I have 4 claims. How many claims? 4. Do you know that 2 or 50% of those claims is because of glioma? And those are just 30 years old. One died of glioma, 30 plus years old doctor. And another one, just recently, about 2 months ago, was diagnosed with glioma while pregnant. And they had to take the baby out because they need to operate the brain immediately. So sad. How many percent is the claim of glioma in my case? 2 out of 4 is how many? 50%. Is that a lot? It's a lot, right? It made me think, oh, so scary. And these are one of the things that I also found out. The number 1 cause of cancer in children under 18 years old is already brain cancer. It already surpassed the original number 1. Okay? It already surpassed the original number 1. Okay, I'll be flashing the different studies that says here that a Swedish study, a Scandinavian study, a Cephalo study, and Mobile Kids study. This study says that as the earlier you use a phone, the more risk you have of getting brain tumor. And this interphone study alone is a big study. It's a meta-analysis study where they found out that if you use phone for 1,640 hours or 10 years, you face 2 times the risk of having glioma. Okay? Not only that, implicated also in leukemia, in brain cancer. Okay? I'm not going to the details of that, but okay, I know you have a question in your mind. Okay? Your question may be this. Why are some people are unaffected and why are other people are suffering? You have that question? Do you want me to tell you why? Why? Because of we vary in susceptibility. Dr. Carpenter, David Carpenter, okay, actually said that we vary in genetic susceptibility to environmental factors. A person can use cigarette or smoke cigarette 20 cigarettes a day for 10 years or 5 years and does not get lung cancer, right? And some can just smoke 5 cigarettes per week and they get lung cancer. So it's not just about the exposure, it's about our genetic individual sensitivity. Right? Do you understand now? You know what to say to your client if you say, I don't have, right? Yeah. So that's the answer for that. And do most anti-radiation work. According to research, they are ineffective and lack scientific evidence. There's already you can search that in YouTube. There's a video, they check everything and it's not effective. And also in all the research that I did. Okay? And what can we do to protect our family? Do you want to know? Yes? Besides emGuarde, of course. First, time. We have to limit our time, right? Next, we have to create some distance to what we're doing, right? We also have barrier. They're actually like this, like they put it there and then you sleep there, and they have metals barrier in that, so you can sleep there. So those are the things that they can use, you can use. And of course, one of the things that actually EMF do is raise free radicals, right? So you eat right, and you drink what? Because it decreases or removes or eliminates, neutralizes the free radicals. Okay. But how many of you would tell me, would agree with me, that these things is not very possible anymore, right? What if you're working 10 hours a day? Can you limit your time? Can you put some distance? Do you want to walk with a barrier with you? No? But you can do this to your kids, right? Limit the time of your kids. But, of course, is there a better way? Can you ask me? Is there a better way? What do you think is a better way? You know the answer. I'm almost done. But if somebody asks you, there's evidence, there's no evidence, this doctor said there's no evidence, then you have that? Do they tell you that? Yes. Actually, I'm honest to say that there's actually a chaos right now. Where's the paper? Yeah. Okay. There's a chaos right now. Scientists, experts are in chaos. They're debating if it is harmless, not harmless, whatever. I'd like to tell you, would you rather wait for these diseases to happen before you start protecting yourself? Yes or no? No. You don't wait, right? We have to start protecting our kids. Right now. Can you say right now? Right now. And how many of you here already have an emGuarde at home? Good job. Great job, so many. How many who doesn't have emGuarde at home? Okay. So for those of you who doesn't have emGuarde, you have two choices. How many choices? First, go back without protection. Go back to your family knowing everything that you know, and then continue living. Continue doing everything, exposing your kids, or start protecting your family. And so after this summit, I would expect a lot of sales, guys. Go back to your country and buy yourself an emGuarde. You're doing yourself an favor. Okay? Are you learning so far? Yes. You want more? Yes. Unfortunately, my time is very limited. They're giving me so short time. But that's okay. Because I have my book with me. Everything that I told you is just 1/10 of what you can see in the book. And this book actually have a lot for you to say, okay? Okay, and can you agree with me that this is a great marketing tool for your emGuarde? Yes? And most people would face these challenges if you're selling emGuarde. There's a lot of inconclusive scientific evidence, there's too much noise, no public awareness, there's so many competition, right? But with your tool, you have an arsenal. You have a tool to educate the public. You can build credibility, okay? And you can give it as a gift. If those tools that you see earlier on can help you in your demo, this book can actually what? Open the doors for you. Yes. Do you know that I just showed, I didn't have the book yet, I just showed the title of my book to a friend and they invited me to a talk. And I was able to sell a Kangen machine. Kangen machine! So, this is that, and it's available today, but they say it is sold out. I'm so sorry, guys. Are you sorry? But for every one of you, once more, do you want my book? You have I gave us some pieces for raffle later. And then you can actually buy it in bulk with a team so that we can lower the price. Alright? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Malaysia.
Thank you, Dr. Pinky. By the way, I have